ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monica Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZ. And let's jump into today's episode.
Good morning, afternoon, and evening, whatever time it is where you are, good that time to you. Let's jump into a fashion hot topic / update episode. And it's a couple of things that I've been seeing that I definitely need to tell you guys about business-wise. Now, the fashion industry, as you all know, I'm assuming that most of you guys are in it, but either way, the fashion industry is changing, and I feel like for some reason 2025 changed a lot. There was a lot of, to me, discourse around, number one, fabrication. I feel like fabrication was a hot topic this year for the whole year. Noticing that every company, high level, low level, is using 100% polyester for majority of their clothing definitely, I think, shocked a lot of people and made people more aware of the tags on their clothing. Even turning some people to thrift shoppers or vintage shoppers when they don't necessarily want to be, just because they want real fabrics and materials more than the item. They want their materials to actually last and not be covered in plastic that could possibly also have some physical reactions, some chemical reactions in your body to wearing 100% polyester, which is plastic and chemicals. So I thought that, number one, was a turning point this year. Just the average person knowing that polyester is not good and should not be $400 for an item that is 100% polyester, especially even higher from brands like Miu Miu or Burberry or other luxury brands, and people going into the stores, checking the tags and seeing 100% polyester, 100% polyester, 90% polyester. So I thought that was a hot topic that I've noticed throughout the whole year. I also wanted to go into Kim Kardashian and Skims did a live event. Now, I think that live events also was a big deal in 2025. Live shopping in general. I feel like this year really turned a lot of people, especially people on TikTok, into people who wanted to participate in this live selling, live shopping strategy in order to make money within their businesses or to make money within the TikTok world. I didn't even know until recently that Amazon also has a live shopping portion to their website now. So does eBay. So does I heard, Poshmark, I think somebody told me they're doing live shopping now too. So I feel like in 2025, live shopping really escalated to now it's something that a lot of people are aware of and a lot of people are starting to do. So the fact that Kim Kardashian and Skims did a live shopping event was very interesting to me. Mostly because I picture live shopping as a TikTok thing. That's because where I mostly see it. Now, obviously, there are apps like the Whatnot app and other platforms that have done it for me. I think thrift shopping, obviously, QVC has been around for a long, long time, and they've always been a live shopping network for just regular price things. But I feel like in recent years, I've seen a lot of thrift stores and resellers doing it where you're buying lower price items for discounts. $1, $2, $5, $10 for something that was originally $60, $70, $80. So to see that Skims did it for their brand was surprising. Now, where is this post from? This post is from Camille Moore. This one says, let me see, Kimsmas. I guess that's what it was called. What Skims did, it was called Kimsmas Live on TikTok. Now, they did a 45-minute variety show. They had celebrity guests like Kris Jenner, Snoop Dogg, Khloe Kardashian, and Kyle Richards, the mother, I believe, of... Is that... Oh no, I was gonna say that was whatchamacallit, Paris Hilton's mom. But I forget, Kyle Richards, I think, is on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But she's not Paris Hilton mom. Anyway, they did QVC style deals and bundles. They had commercial breaks with dancing. They had instant checkout without leaving the app. So they put their products on the TikTok app in order to have the products be bought within the platform. So it didn't take customers outside the platform to shop. They had a product launch executed as entertainment. Okay, so e-commerce is changing in real time. The awareness, the consideration, and the purchase route. The new model is instant. Watch the live, like it, click, and then buy. Everything happens within the time span that the client, the customer, is on or watching the live program. And it says the entertainment is the storefront. It says, no, I'll think about it without leaving the platform. And this awareness, this all happens within, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 45 minutes. It goes from awareness to consideration to purchase, all in the time frame of somebody watching this live event. Now, this is why it works. It creates urgency. The deals are only available while the live stream is happening. If you miss it, it's gone. You don't get that same sale or deal anymore. It creates real-time decision-making that shop anytime e-commerce can't have. Now, element number 2, it talks about community, shopping with thousands of others, live comments, shared energy, social proof drives purchases. Now, what I want to add to that is if you've ever been on TikTok or on one of these platforms where you are live shopping, you see the comments going on and on. Somebody is in there saying, oh, do you have that in a large? And the person who is selling the item will say, oh, I see Maria's looking for a large. Let me grab a large. Here's the large. Here's the large. And then somebody else in the comments like, oh my God, I love that in black. I wonder if you have it in brown. Oh my God, I see, Sarah, I see your comment. Yes, we do have it in brown. We actually have it in 2 shades of brown. Here's our tan. Here's our honey brown. Would you like this one or this one to go on sale? Oh, you want the honey brown? Oh, okay. Let me put that on sale right now. So it is an active live way of interacting with your customers, seeing what they want, putting that item that they want on sale in that moment, and then getting that person to buy. They're going to buy because they suggested that you put that one on sale. So it makes them feel more obligated to purchase the item as well. Now, it talks about element number 3 is trust. Kim built 10 plus years of credibility and it doesn't feel like an ad. It feels like a recommendation from a friend. Now, it's a lot of people who grew up watching, what was her show called? Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And now the new show, I think, is just called The Kardashians. But that's 20 years of built trust. 20 years of you seeing this family in the limelight, building up a good reputation for their products, their personality, their branding, their ethical standards, whatever you align with within this family. You have 20 years of backlog and data to say that you like this person, you like their brand, and you want to support their brand. All of these work in real time during the live event for their brand. And us as fashion designers, people who own boutiques, people who have fashion stores, whether it's e-commerce or brick and mortar stores, you also need to start building that as well within your customer base. How can you build urgency, community, and trust? Let's figure that out. Now, it says the problem here is most brands have followers, but not community. They don't have awareness and they don't have trust. How can you build that within your company? Now, my recommendation is content. For me, I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. I post almost every day across every platform. For the most part, I post on Instagram stories every day. I might not post on the page every day, but I post on Instagram stories every day. TikTok, I try to post on the platform every day. YouTube, I try to post YouTube shorts every day. And then I post long form videos as well, where the client, the other fashion designers, whatever people who are interested in the topic also get to know about me, my brand, what I do, how I work, how my team works, etc. So across all these different platforms, you're seeing this person is active. If a client wants to buy with you and then they look at your social media and it says you haven't posted in 2 years, it looks like your business closed. You're not building that trust. In fact, you're doing the opposite. So that's number one. Community. Do you comment back to your followers when they leave a comment? Are you showing what you're doing within your local community, how you're partnering with other small businesses, or how you're building your, customer base, how you're making your brand more strategic to your target audience? Are you showing that? That's how you can build awareness, community, and trust. There's several different ways. Now let's go back to this post. It says the production strategy. Skims treated this like a TV show. They hired real media, real camera people. They had a director. They literally produced it like a TV show versus a regular TikTok live event. So it's already a level above what you usually see on that same platform. It had a 45-minute runtime, which again created that urgency where customers who logged into the app and saw this live knew this is the countdown clock. This is when the sale ends. This is when this quote unquote show ends. They had celebrity guests. They had an original Kimsmas jingle. Interesting. Again, this was a TV production budget replacing marketing funnel. Okay, now it talks about what's next. The floodgates just opened. It says Gary Vee predicted it. Infrastructure is ready. Now Kim proved that it worked. Every brand will try this in 2025. 2025 almost over. Why would they say that? Most will fail. Low production, wrong strategy. Winners will treat it like a TV show and not like a social post. I think that's very interesting to platform the fact that she treated it more like a TV show than a post and saying that that's why hers was successful. I would like to see the numbers on that. I don't feel like her numbers are equivalent to maybe what the average TikTok seller who is selling on that platform every day is doing. I believe she sold 900 items during the TikTok live and 3,000 items within the following days. However, the person who has been doing TikTok, let's say for the past 12 months, right? Just taking 2025. The person who has been doing TikTok live shopping events on TikTok. Think about Smart Art. If you are aware of this art company where they sell prints, and paintings, usually Black girls centered. I see these ladies on this TikTok live shopping app every single day. And the numbers look crazy. Like they are selling hundreds of items every single day. There are hair and wig stores selling items every single day. I would believe that they are more than likely doing better numbers within a month than Kim did in that one-day event. And I think with her platform, she could have did 3, 4, 5, 6 times more or better if she had promoted ahead of time, which to me it seems like she did not do. But either way, a somewhat successful for their first show. I'm sure they didn't know exactly how to go about it, so it was cool. Now it says the lesson that comes from this: you need 1, a reason to show up at a specific time. 2, an audience willing to spend 45 minutes with you. 3, trust that drives instant purchases. And 4, production budget, not just a social media budget or a social budget. The reality is that awareness and purchase aren't separate anymore. If you can't hold attention while selling, you will lose. Do I believe that? Yes, I believe if you can't hold the attention while selling on live, you will lose. But overall, I don't think that you need to do live in order to increase your sales in 2026. I do feel like you need to have content and you need to be on all of these platforms to showcase your brand, your boutique, your whatever you have. But I do not think that necessarily going live is the end all be all of being successful in the upcoming year. I did have another person talk about this. Let's play a clip of them talking about the Skims Christmas shopping event. Let's listen. Oh, wait, here she is.
Every brand should do live shopping because a lot of brands that do live shopping completely discount the value of their products. But Skims just showed every premium brand how to do live shopping. They treated live shopping like a TV show and an SNL skit, something that you wanted to tune into, and then you're like, oh wait, they're selling me clothes. The reality is, if you want to stay a premium brand, every touch point matters, including live shopping. You can't cut corners on live shopping or it ruins your premium brand. Skims had literal TV level production for this, so it's not cheap. And the funny thing is, I'm not convinced that Skims saw an ROI from this. You can see the sales data on TikTok, and they only sold 920 items in the first 12 hours. And as of yesterday, they've only sold over 3,000 items. And this kind of budget should have had a lot more sales. Now, time will tell if there was an ROI for Skims. But let's be clear, this video is not to say don't do live shopping, because Mary Roos has become a billion-dollar brand from TikTok and TikTok Lives. So live shopping is actually a great strategy if you don't care about your brand perception. But if you do care about your brand perception, you really need to think if live shopping is right for your brand. And Skims proved that any brand can do live shopping, but is it worth the investment? Now, comment what you think of Skims' live shopping strategy. Hot take.
Okay, so as you heard her say, there's a lot that you can do to get into this space and to do live shopping for your brand, as long as you have a strategy and you just kind of figure out what works best for you and your company. This creator, her name is the Blueprint and then underscore, spelled normally. I'm sorry, the brand Lord, can I speak today? The brand Blueprint underscore. That is her name. So I just went into the comments, and the first comment is from Kim Kardashian herself. She put a red heart, and the brand Blueprint responded, "Congrats on your success. Excited to see what is next." Interesting. I like that Kim Kardashian herself posted. That's cool that she commented on this post. All right, so another comment. Live shopping is the way to go. Happens all day, every day on IG through the vintage and antique shops. I actually never see live shopping on Instagram. Maybe it's my algorithm, I don't know, or maybe I'm just not on Instagram as much, but I actually have never seen live shopping on Instagram. Let's see. I've watched it. It went on for almost 2 hours, and it was different and unique. Very amusing and entertaining at the same time. That played a role in keeping the consumers enjoying the show while spending money at the same time. I've never seen anything like that. Okay, so this is somebody who actually watched it. Really cool. I really love that review. The fact that they're saying it was very interesting and entertaining at the same time while shopping. Somebody else commented, it depends on what their marketing objectives were for this activation. Revenue and sales are not always the KPI/ROI, meaning return on investment. It could be to attract a new audience, raise awareness, and drive brand excitement. So, okay. And that's true. It could be that it wasn't necessarily to have sales, but to create a new experience and drive excitement for Skims Live. I think that is also a really cool objective for a brand. They don't necessarily need the money, but creating a new avenue of shopping within their brand is always a good strategy. Let's read a couple more comments. This one says, did she mention her opening stores on occupied land? I don't know what that necessarily means, on occupied land. Someone else said, it was great. I love that they did this. I just think the lounge and PJs are too pricey for something similar that you can purchase at Walmart or Target. Interesting. So people have their opinions on it. Somebody else said China has been doing this for ages and now it's finally making its way to the West. Let me tell you, China has been killing the live shopping games. There is no comparison between American live shopping and Chinese live shopping. They literally, there is one girl who sells like a million things a minute. Like, she tries on different items and opens different boxes, I believe every 4 seconds. Like, she literally opens a box and closes it and then moves it down almost like a track, like an industry warehouse line where it's like almost on a treadmill and the items just keep going and going, and every 4 seconds she opens it, close it, opens, close it. I'm like, okay, we have this, all right, next. Okay, we have this, all right, next. Okay, we have this, all right, next. And it has been said that she has made $400 million within one day on live. So there is no comparison to the Chinese live shopping experience, because we're not even in the same wheelhouse. Now, I wanted to talk about a couple other things. All right, Fear of God. If you know the Fear of God brand, they have the shirts that say essentials, hoodies, sweatshirts. To me, it's mostly sweatshirts and hoodies and sweatpants kind of vibe. But they have partnered with the NFL, announcing a multi-year licensing collab. I feel like that is so crazy. Now, if you're familiar, you know what the brand Essentials looks like, or Fear of God looks like. The hoodies that it says is coming out with, partnering with the NFL, has a big NFL at the top and then Essentials on the bottom in the front. And then it'll say Cowboys and then Essentials at the bottom, Eagles and then Essentials at the bottom, Giants and then Essentials at the bottom. And then the NFL Giant logo on the back. It's a interesting combo. I don't know if I want Eagles Essentials hoodie. It's just Eagles in the front with Essentials. So it says Eagles and then Essentials, and then on the back it's like a giant eagle. I don't know if that's my vibe. Now, it might be other people's vibe, and other people might love the Fear of God brand. I feel like, okay, I don't know. I feel like I wish the vibe was a little bit more aesthetically exciting. It's just words. It's just another word on a shirt. Where do we need that extra word in the space? It says, and this is from the Instagram post Boardroom. It says, Fear of God is stepping into the gridiron. Founder Jerry Lorenzo announced a multi-year licensing collaboration with the NFL, bringing the brand's clean, elevated aesthetic to one of the biggest platforms in sports. The partnership will include official apparel and lifestyle pieces that merge high fashion with the football heritage. It builds on years of Fear of God shaping style through neutral palettes, sharp tailoring, and premium streetwear seen in locker rooms and on red carpets. The brand has already worked with the NBA, WNBA, and MLB, and now adds the NFL to the roster. The league has been expanding its presence in fashion and leaning into designers with cultural pull. With a loyal following and brand rooted in sports, music, and style, FOG, Fear of God, enters with momentum and room to lead. Let's get into the comment section. There's a lot of fire emojis. Somebody else said, let's go, Jerry. Somebody said, y'all gas anything up at this point. That's low-key how I feel. I am happy for the brand, proud of the brand, but to me, calling it high fashion is a stretch. That's just my point of view. Having worked in the fashion industry for a long time, I just don't feel like sweatsuits that are fairly plain are high fashion. Somebody said congratulations to Jerry Lorenzo. Again, yes, partnership with big companies is a must. I feel like partnership is the best way to get your brand to reach new heights by collabing with big brands like Nike, Adidas, Uniqlo, I don't know, like a whole bunch of different brands. Partnering your small brand with these brands really gives your brand some legitimacy. Again, okay. Somebody commented, I really like how they added the NFL Shield logo where they put it on jerseys. Somebody said, I'm not even an NFL fan, but this is so clean. It is clean. Maybe I don't like plain stuff. Maybe that's my problem. It's clean. Yes, it's plain. It's plain. The Eagles is the Eagles, and it just says essentials on the bottom. Somebody commented LMAO. Somebody commented, and with that, essentials has entered the at Gap chat. It was cool while it lasted. I don't know what that means. Somebody else said, so this is a rinse and repeat of the NFL deal, question mark. I'm assuming that means that the NFL one looked the same. Somebody else commented, this merch is about to be $400. Somebody else said the NFL did it first. I'm sorry, the NBA did it first. Somebody else said I can find better at the thrift store. Somebody else said slap essentials on it and it's supposed to be hard. Nah, they playing with y'all. Low key, I feel similarly. However, I only feel that way because I just feel like the aesthetic of essentials is very plain to me. However, I do feel like as a brand owner, partnership and collaboration with other brands does elevate your brand, and you should always be elevating. And I feel like this does bring Fear of God essentials to a new level. Going to the Fear of God page, their caption just says American luxury. That is what they say they are. American luxury. I should go to the store up the street and look at an essentials hoodie and see the luxury. Yeah, I mean, it could just be me. Maybe okay, I'm looking through their stuff and it's hoodies. Am I missing it? There's some coats. I like these coats. Are these their coats? Do they sell coats? Or is the shirt under the coat what they're selling? Because there's some pictures of just coats. I need to go to their website. See, and now I've scrolled back to the Met Gala of this year, and it looks like they did some runs of suiting and coats specifically for the Met Gala. I am seeing the NBA essentials, which literally says NBA at the top and essentials on the bottom. Okay. Oh, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe they do have thicker fabrics or more luxury fabrics within their pieces. And I'm seeing a lot of coats on their page. So if the coats are a thing, I do actually really like these coats that are on their page and think they look very well made. So if their brand is hoodies and coats, I'm not opposed. I think that is a good combo. Okay. What else do we have on the update for this episode? Should I get into a teaching or should I leave it here? Because I feel like a lot of purses, oh my goodness, a lot of purses have been coming out that I feel like are killing it. Now, I did a episode a couple weeks back that was talking about the Fendi Peekaboo bags, which absolutely loved that accessory collection. This Chanel collection for pre-fall 2026, the purses in this collection, crazy, obsessed. I think these purse designers, accessory designers they're really trying it. They're really pushing themselves to come out with unique pieces that are gorgeous. This Chanel collection to me is gorgeous. The squirrel, they have this squirrel bag where the squirrel's tail is like half of the chain on the purse or the handle, and then the squirrel's face and feet are at the side and bottom of the purse. I love stuff like that. I love little kitschy stuff like that. They have this poodle bag where it's like a fringe, like a beaded fringe that is around the whole bag. And the beads change colors to show the outline of a poodle. They have some textured spotted bags. They have different little accessory keychains, brooches, pins on there. They have textured pieces. I love a textured bag. What is another bag they have? This like kind of giant peanut looking like bag that is like an ivory and gold. Is this a tomato or an apple? I think this is an apple bag with like a gold leaf design around it. Gorgeous bag. Suede. They have a tweed bag, kind of reminding you of the fabric from their tweed suits. There's this bag where on the edge of the zippers is a dog and a woman holding the dog's leash. I feel like beautiful bag. Obsessed with that bag. They also have a giraffe bag where the giraffe's head and legs are sticking out from the side and the bottom of the bag. Again, obsessed with the selection for their accessories. Lastly, let's listen to this guy talk about the Pinterest predicts for 2026. This is what we're going to end with, you guys.
Pinterest predicts for 2026, and of course I love Pinterest, and I had to immediately jump on here and talk about it with you. Let's look at some of the trend projections that they have made that pertain to fashion, and let's see if I agree with them, where they line up with the predictions that I have been making myself. One of their big fashion predictions is Glamourati. Very dramatic silhouettes, like the funnel neck, big shoulders, very 80s. They're predicting chunky statement jewelry. This is all stuff that I've also been talking about. The big shoulders, the chunky jewelry coming back, the 80s of it all. So I definitely think that this is a good prediction for 2026. Then we have broached. This one's pretty straightforward. The accessorizing of pieces with brooches. This is something that a lot of trend forecasters are talking about, something that I've definitely been spotting a lot of. In addition to like accessorizing lapels with brooches, I've also seen it on hats. I feel like this is kind of a next evolution of the bag charm, over accessorizing. This is also a great upcycling, thrifting, vintage hunting kind of trend that people can participate in. Then we have laced up. This goes hand in hand with the rise of boho aesthetic in the last few seasons that I think we will continue to see pretty strongly in 2026. So this is something that is definitely in line with my own predictions. Other fashion related trend prediction is vamp romantic, and this is also something that I've seen increased interest in the last few seasons. Lots of dark, rich hues, lacing and lace. I think there is a general cultural renewed interest in vampires, so this definitely makes sense that it would be continuing into 2026, but I do think that this is something that has already been going pretty strong. Pinterest just...
Okay, so this creator's name is, I want to say, Karya Street Style, Karya, and then Street Style. The two things I want to stand out to me for this Pinterest predicts is the brooches and the laced up corsets. I have been seeing this trend upward for 2025, and I think that will continue into 2026 for sure. Corsets and the laced up look. I feel like another thing that's good about the laced up look and vibe is it also can grow or shrink with you, depending on the size of the lacing, how far apart it is. If you lose weight, you can always tie it tighter. If you gain weight, you can always tie it looser. And I think now that people are trying to get more pieces that will last them longer, this is definitely part of that consideration. The brooches. Brooches as well are something that you can add to something else to change the look. I think most of what I'm seeing in the fashion industry is about being able to have things last for a long time and rewear your pieces that you already love and have in your closet and make them feel new and fresh. And I think a beautiful brooch is a way that people are thinking of doing that. And I think that also leads into like these labubus and keychains and little purse accessories as well. It's something that you can add to a plain bag to give it a new or exciting look. And I think people are going to continue to do that into 2026 as people try to make what they already have work for them. All right, you guys, that is the end of this week's Fashion Hot Topics and Update episode. I will see you guys next week. Bye.